Chandrababu Naidu, the newly sworn Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, made a holy start to his tenure by visiting Tirumala, where he had the darshan of Lord Venkateshwara. After the darshan of Lord Balaji, Naidu said that there is a need to cleanse the system owing to the bad governance in the past 5 years, and it should start with the TTD, short for Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanams. The Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister reportedly also said that Tirumala has turned into a hub of ganja, liquor and the promotion of other religions in the last 5 years. Let's listen to what he said.
క్లీనింగ్ లేకపోతే పరిశుభ్రత అన్నిటికీ తిరోధకాలు చేశారు. తిరుమల ఒక పవిత్రమైన దివ్యక్షేత్రం. ఈ పవిత్రమైన దివ్యక్షేత్రాన్ని అపవిత్రం చేయడం భావ్యం కాదు.
We are now joined by Apurva, who has covered Andhra Pradesh extensively, and Ms. Jyotsna, TDP spokesperson. I would like to ask you, Apurva, the statement made by Naidu today that the cleansing of Andhra Pradesh should begin with TTD, did he mean that the cleansing that he is going to undertake in the next tenure begins geographically from the temple today from his visit, or did he mean that the system, the administration needs to be cleansed?
Well, the one thing is for sure, we've seen how Chandrababu Naidu has talked about, clean governance and clean governance. That's the motto that Chandrababu Naidu has been speaking about time and again. And this time as well, we're seeing the similar kind of statements that he's come ever since Naidu had been sworn in as a Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh just yesterday. Late last night, he flew into Tirumala for an early morning Srivari Darshan today. And post the darshan, he's also made his intentions clear, wherein he clearly states that yes, there needs to be cleansing of corruption. There's a lot of violence that has taken place during the past tenure, is what he has actively mentioned, even in his campaign and electoral speeches as well. And that's what is the message that he's trying to say here as well. In fact, when he talked about after visiting Tirumala and having a darshan there, he said about how Om Namo Venkatesaya is a slogan that we are hearing here in Tirumala. He talks about the purity of Tirumala in essence, and he also goes on to state how just like that very much Andhra Pradesh governance should also be a clean governance and a corruption free governance for the people. That's the message that Naidu is trying to state when he's talking about his press conference recently as well. In fact, it has been time and again known how Chandrababu Naidu has been talking about how they want to ensure that the people of Andhra Pradesh are not suffering, be it he had talked about several cases where several innocent people had also been affected. They had been picked up. That's what he had alleged. He said several names of innocent people have also been, lives of them have also been ruined. Politicians have also come under the radar. And he himself, in fact, was one of the people who was investigated, interrogated in jail for almost 53 days in the APCID, by the APCID, remember, in recently as well in last year. And that's what he also wanted to state by saying that he wanted clean governance. Deepti.
From his reference of cleanliness should begin from here, it has no political meaning. It just means that his motive to clean Andhra Pradesh begins from his visit to the temple. Ms. Jyotsna, do you agree with that? Was there no indirect reference to Jagan Mohan Reddy?
Our party never talks anything political on Venkateshwar. I mean, in Tirupati or Tirumala. It's been there earlier also. It's not the first time. I think we have seen it even during our earlier regime, or even during the regime of Jagan Mohan Reddy. Our leaders who visited Tirumala never ever spoke politics there. It's only the YSRCP leaders who have spoken politics. Here, what our honorable chief minister was talking about was the kind of things that we have seen in Tirumala for the past 5 years, wherein we do not get to hear the chanting of the Govindanamas, or we do not see the cleanliness there. We do not have proper prasada being offered. We have seen all this. So our leader was referring to that, and definitely the cleansing would start from there. We will definitely, uh, you know, uh, safeguard the sacredness of Tirupati and Tirumala, which we have done earlier also, and we will do it again now. Because for the past 5 years, it was really, really, really bad. when it comes to Tirumala. We have experienced. I mean, many of us who went there as devotees would experience that there, you never get to hear those Govindanamas of the Lord Venkateshwara. You never get to see that auspiciousness there because you have a lot of pollution in terms of these leaders who are polluting it, the YSRCP leaders polluting it, and in fact they indulged in every activity there in Tirumala. They interfered in every activity in Tirumala, whether it was the prasadas or whether it was the any other thing. All of them involved. Even darshanas they indulged in. They interfered. So yes, we would like to completely cleanse the entire misdoings or wrongdoings that have happened in Tirumala earlier during the earlier government's regime. So we will start off again. We'll have only the Lord Venkateshwara's Namasmarana there, and we'll only have a very, very, very sacred environment in Tirumala.
So will there be changes in the TTD board, because this is something that the TDP has raised even when it was in the opposition?
Yeah, definitely certain things have to be changed. How far and how fast, I think we'll get to know in a couple of weeks. But yes, things have to be changed because we had people who do not have that I think inclination towards Lord Venkateshwara also in the TD as in the TTD board. We had people who actually did not bother about Lord Venkateshwara also be in the board. So there are certain aspects that needs to be corrected. They'll be corrected. So let's again, as I said, and we never indulge in such kind of activities. We never do politics on Tirumala, and we are not such kind of a party, or our leader is not such kind of a leader who will do politics on Tirumala. So definitely, what Nara Chandrababu Naidu garu, as the Chief Minister of the state of Andhra Pradesh, stated today was certain things, because TTD is an independent board and they have they have certain restrictions, they have certain rules, they have certain procedures that have been followed. Even if you remember earlier, the earlier chief minister would not even sign a declaration if he had to go to Tirumala, which is a must and should. If you are not a Hindu, you need to sign a declaration. So certain things were completely, overlooked, and they in fact played with everything there. So we will definitely change all that. And yes, again, only one slogan would be heard on Tirumala. It is Om Namo Venkateshaya.
Right. And for the audience here, can you explain to me what the history of these two parties has been with regards to the temple? Because even from what you said right now, it sounds to me like the last 5 years of governance has had like a ill impact on how the administration in Tirupati works. Can you explain to us what this history is?
As I said, any party which comes into power, they do not have any right to interfere in the TTD board working, because TTD board is an independent board. The Lord Venkateshwara or Tirumala, Tirupati, all of it is managed by the board. So when you interfere in that, we had a lot of political interference for the past 5 years that we have seen. Whether it was the EO or whether it was the board chairman, all of them, they used it as a political platform, which they should not have done. And even ministers, when visiting the temple, the temple there, they would utter political references there, which was absolutely wrong. So they have done it earlier also. Even if you take, the prasada that's been offered, the Anna Prasada, even that was played with. The tenders were not properly called on. People, complained many a time saying that proper food was not supplied, proper prasada was not supplied. Lot of corruption in that also. Lot of, in fact, I would say, rather than corruption, I would say it has political interference, which we would not allow in our regime. When we had, see, it's not the first time Sri Nara Chandrababu Naidu garu is assuming office as the chief minister. It's his fourth term, whether it was 2 terms in United Andhra Pradesh, or this is now the second term in divided Andhra Pradesh. Also, both the terms, if we call the earlier 2 terms and now the 2014 to 19 term, and now this term, we have utmost devotion and respect towards Lord Venkateshwara and Tirumala Tirupati, and as lakhs and crores of people have. So we have to maintain the sanctity of the place. We have to maintain and respect the rules and regulations of the place, and also the rules and procedures that are followed in the place. At the same time, we have to honor the culture of the place, the tradition of the place, which was not done in the earlier government of YSRCP. We will uphold all that. We will, because our leader believes and has high trust and high belief system in Lord Venkateshwara. It is he who has say, he always quotes saying that he is the one who has protected me when it was a Claymore mine blast also. So definitely we have we'll change the system first thing. Whichever is wherever there is a political interference, we will immediately. I think I will not even call it reduction. We'll just call it elimination of political interference in Tirupati. There should be no political interference in Tirupati Tirumala. There should be only devotion.
Jyotsna Garu, I just want to give you, I just want to ask a small question. We've talked about how there's been several changes that have been made in the board, Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam board over the last couple of years. And we'd also seen a lot of talks that had come up that there was most likely some kind of favoring with the YSRCP government that had been done for influential people to get access and get their seat on the board. Do you think this time around the Telugu Desam party will be, fundamental enough in kind of not doing the same mistakes or not being able to process this kind of setting up the board, because Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam board is a board that has been known worldwide and is also one of the sacramentous boards that we've seen across.
Yes, that was what my earlier point was also saying, that there should be no political interference. First thing, whenever there is a selection of the board members or all, there is a process that's been followed. That process should be followed, and there should be no appeasement there. As earlier I have quoted, see in YSRCP's regime, we have seen that it was clear appeasement. People, if they couldn't accommodate them anywhere, they would come, put them in TTD board or something like that. We have seen. And also there is a huge amount of corruption even in Srivani Trust, that they are talking about the tickets that they have issued, lot of mishappenings. We have to actually inquire, do an inquiry on all those, and definitely wherever mischief has occurred, whoever has done any kind of a mischief with Lord Venkateshwara, they'll not be spared. Definitely action would be taken. At the same time, as our chief has very clearly mentioned, our um, chief minister ji has very clearly mentioned, there should be only one slogan, and we should not hear anything else on Tirumala except Govindanamas, except Om Namo Venkateshaya. And that is also valid when it comes to the board memberships or board members or all that, because we should be having people on board who have high respect to the god, high trust in the god, and also who for them it's a god. That's it. I think we should have people like that on the board. And that's what we have done earlier when we were in government also, and probably now when we come back, when we are back in the part, definitely we'll do that again. Before all this, Apurva, I think we should first, because you also have probably have visited the place in the past 5 years, and we have gone there so many times. It's like they have, I think I would say they have polluted everything there, whether it is the darshana thing, whether it is the prasada thing, whether it is the any other the accommodation also. Earlier we used to have a lot of transparency in the accommodation ka thing, in the darshana thing. Now we do not have all that. Lot of interference. I think we should first stop that. We should first eliminate that. Not even stopping, eliminate that, because the board works on its own. The board has got a proper structure of doing things. We should let them do that. And yes, the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthana is something that has a connection with almost each and every Telagite, each and every Hindu person. So definitely the sacredness of the temple has to be upheld, and also whoever has tried to probably do some mischief with that, they should be punished. We believe that.
Naidu appeared a bit surprised to see that not a single official was present when he got off his convoy. He walked straight to the party activists and interacted with them for a brief while. He reportedly berated the officials over the protocol lapse displayed by the TTD officials. The new cabinet minister Nara Lokesh also expressed his displeasure over the police excesses in terms of covering up the entire Gayatri Nilayam guest house surroundings with pardas or white cloth. One thing is evident from the visit of Chandrababu Naidu, and that is a big change is coming in TTD administration, just as Ms. Jyotsna just said. The TDP was in the opposition last year and had raised objections against the then Jagan Mohan Reddy led YSRCP government and alleged that it had appointed tainted people to the board that governs the world's richest Hindu temple. And the TDP now plans, like she said, to cleanse the temple of any political interference. What are some of the major changes needed in Tirupati and TTD administration? What are the difficulties that you have faced during Lord Balaji's darshan and how can they be rectified? Let us know in the comment section below. I am Deepthi Rao. You are watching India Today, SoSouth.